What's up, everybody? Welcome to Thunder Sports Pod. We got our first mock draft heading y'all's way. Without further ado, Stash has the number one overall pick.
With the number one pick, the Tennessee Titans are going to trade it
Ooh.
away. Titans are going to trade it, in my opinion, to the Browns.
Okay, Cleveland moving up a spot.
I think Cleveland does everything they can. I think they want a quarterback. They want Cam Ward. And I think that they're going to give up the farm. And I think it's a terrible decision by Cleveland. But at the same time, let me ask you, does it not sound like something Cleveland would do?
Yeah, I could definitely see them moving up a spot and giving up valuable assets just because they want to get their guy. And if they miss on this, it will set their franchise back even more.
Oh, 100%. Okay. So surprised. Not surprised.
Hey, that's valuable, yeah.
I think Cleveland takes a quarterback. I think they take Cam Ward, number one overall.
Okay. A lot of people will be like, okay, the Titans, they move back a spot, they get some assets in return. The Titans are in rebuild mode. I believe they trade down again to the Jets pick at number 7. The Jets move up to number 2.
Jets. And the Jets trade with the Jets trading with the Titans.
Yes, sir. And Cam Ward's off the board. The Jets going up. It's controversial, but they're getting their franchise quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, at pick number 2. I don't think this is going to necessarily be what it is come actual draft night, but I do believe the Jets will be trading up for their franchise quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is out the gate, guys, so they definitely got to find a quarterback and trading up with the Titans.
Shedeur Sanders to the Jets, man. I don't like either one of them going number one overall, if I'm being fair. Mm-hmm. But hey, what can I say? I just don't see either one of them as like. I think Cam Ward is probably the best QB in this draft. But that doesn't mean I think he's like automatic number one overall.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about it, Cam Ward has a big arm ability, and he plays so nonchalant. But can that translate to the league? We'll have to wait and see. Him and Shedeur having that little internal battle as friends is fun to see. But imagine if this does happen, going 1 and 2. I don't think there'll be a quarterback selected in the entire first round outside of those two. Jackson Dart will probably be the third quarterback selected in the second round. We'll have to wait and see. With the third overall pick, the Giants, who you taking?
The Giants, they need a QB, but I just don't see them taking one here. I think they go probably offensive tackle and take Will Campbell. I'll be real. Because you don't have to draft a QB here. I don't see another QB going first round, even though, like I said, I don't think these guys should be. So I say they try to build that O-line and try to get a guy to come there. So, because their O-line is so bad. Like, their D-line is great. Their linebackers, okay. Their DBs, okay. But that offensive line is atrocious. Like, no wonder Saquon wanted out.
Big time. So, we got the New England Patriots. And before we get into that, everybody, so Shedeur Sanders going to a huge market in New York. Imagine. He's going to get all the publicity, everything he wants. So, Will Campbell at 3, I like it. At 4, the New England Patriots, they get Travis Hunter to pair alongside Christian Gonzalez in that secondary here.
Travis Hunter to the Patriots.
I think it makes a lot of sense. They could even package some offensive plays in there for him, but I think he's going to be a defensive starter, in my opinion.
Him and Gonzalez?
Oh, yeah.
Bill Belichick's not there anymore. Ooh. All right, we're going. Now we're on to. We're on to the Jags. So who do the Jags take here? Well, part of me thinks. I think their defense needs more help than their offense. I think Brian Thomas Jr. was excellent last season, and he really took over after Christian Kirk got hurt. So I kind of think they need to work on the defense more so than they do the offense.
Mm-hmm.
So I would almost say they take Mason Graham here out of Michigan.
Okay, boost the interior D line more so than the edges. I like it.
Because they're
Mason
like,
Graham.
they got Josh Allen at their linebacker.
True, very true. And so that means Abdul Carter has fallen outside the top 5. Imagine that happening. But it does appear evident that he has maybe an issue with his foot, might have to have surgery on it, so that could scare a couple of teams away. So with that in consideration, the Titans are 2 picks away. I think they see Abdul Carter falling outside the top 5. And with assets they acquire, they move up a pick.
Ooh,
With the Raiders. They trade with the Raiders to the number 6 pick. And they are selecting Abdul Carter here. I think that's a great value pick at number 6 for the Titans. You bolster that defense even more, and you get assets going forward. So I think it was the best situation for that team.
Oh,
and they definitely need some defensive help.
Man, Titans made some trades today.
Big time.
You got the Raiders. So the Raiders, I think they need a lot of help. If I'm being honest, I think they do need a new QB, but I think there's speculation that they may just get a free agent. Sam Darnold could be an option. Rodgers could be an option. Wilson could be an option. Hell, even Fields could be an option. So I think they're going to find their QB probably in free agency or a trade more so than I am in the draft, especially this early. They may take a guy later as a backup to like kind of learn the offense, but I think it makes a lot of sense for them to actually take Malik Starks out of Georgia and get that in the safety help.
I like that. Malik Starks, or Malachi Starks, my bad.
Malachi.
I mean, I think they definitely need some secondary help, and I think he could be. I mean, he could trade back and maybe get him, but there could be a couple of reaches in the draft. But going top 10, extremely talented player, I think Malachi Starks makes a lot of sense for the Raiders. Carolina Panthers. All right, so they definitely need some trench help on the D line, and you could go secondary, you could go D line here. Oof. Ultimately, Mikael Williams from Georgia, D lineman. I think he goes here. You could say Will Johnson, but I think you got to reassure the interior D line here, get some pressure on the quarterback. I think the Panthers take Williams from Georgia.
I like that pickup. Now we're on to the Saints. The Saints need a lot more defensive help. Their defense started falling apart there. Cam Jordan, you can get over it. Your defense has not been great. You guys were really bad this year. So I think that's actually where they're going to probably look to help the game, help their defense. And I think they take an edge, and I think they take James Pierce Jr. At 9.
I like it. I think that makes a lot of sense. James Pierce Jr. has phenomenal talent. The upside is there. The pass rushing moves. I mean, you can turn on the film for the last 2 seasons. As a Tennessee Volunteer, he was extremely productive. Makes a lot of sense for the Saints. But pick 10, the Chicago Bears are on the clock. They need some help on the O-line. They need some defensive help. Oof, decision time. But when it comes down to it, I think they take BPA. I think they go with Will Johnson, and they pair him up with Jalen Johnson.
Ooh.
So the Johnsons are going to be terrorizing opposing quarterbacks. I like the secondary pick there.
I like that. I like the pickup, actually. We're on to San Fran. Oh, San Fran's got to pay everybody. They got to pay Purdy this year. I'm curious to see what they do. Debo Samuel wants out, and they've honored his request of seeking a trade, so he's gone. You've got Brandon Ayuk on a long-term deal. Jennings was fine for you last year. He really stepped up, in my opinion, actually, for the good part of that season, especially with the run game that collapsed with CMC going down. So I think they're kind of worried about CMC. on this, but I don't think they're too worried to take a running back here. I do think they try to take the offensive tackles and get the O-line fixed for Purdy and protect him, especially since they're going to pay a pretty dime to keep him. I think they take Kelvin Banks Jr. out of Texas here,
Ooh,
and I think that really adjusts their offensive line.
Some people may say Josh Simmons should be above him. However, I mean, serious injury. His talent is there. It's phenomenal. However, I think those are the two best tackles in the draft for sure. Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys. I mean, he's fallen to pick 12. I think you got to take him. Ashton Jeanty is a Cowboy. It makes too much sense not to pick him. If he falls to 12, I don't see why not.
Now, I would not be shocked at all if he goes to the Cowboys. I actually kind of like that's where I see him going. I don't think Jerry's going to trade up for him, though. I'll tell you that right now. I don't think he's trading up for Ashton Jeanty. I think that he will take him if he's there, kind of deal. But I mean, let's see all the moves that Jerry makes. All right, Miami. Miami needs a lot of O-line help, especially to keep Tua upright if they want to compete this season. That's probably just the best option for them. Is just get your O-line, get a guard. You probably take Tyler Booker out of Alabama here, because I mean they both very familiar with the Alabama system. So I think that's probably the best pair up. You got to get that O-line fixed. Like Tua can't go down. We saw what Tyler Huntley did, and Skylar Thompson did nothing. So I say they fix the O-line in Miami, and I think that's what they need to do.
I like it. Tyler Booker to the Dolphins. Alabama connection. I mean, Tua's got to stay upright, guys. He cannot continue to have these injuries going forward. If you want Miami to have any sort of playoff contention, Tua's got to be on the field. Indianapolis Colts here. Oof.
Taking a quarterback?
Yeah, Anthony Richardson replacement? Nah. I mean, they need some secondary help, but honestly, what really is screaming at me is Nick Scorton, edge from Texas A&M, phenomenal talent. I think that's where you got to go. You could say Tyler Warren tied in, but I really do think that defense has got to step it up a little bit more and take it to another level next season. So with the addition of an extremely athletic pass rusher, I think that's the decision you got to go.
All right. I like the pick. Atlanta. Atlanta needs definitely some. I don't know. They signed all these guys in last season. Justin Simmons. They signed a ton of names to try and help that team go to the playoffs. Guess what, Atlanta? It didn't happen. Sorry. For the fourth straight year. Sorry.
Brutal.
I'm just. I think they definitely do need help on the edge, and that's probably where I'd probably look at first. But Mike Green is still later in the draft, so I don't really see them taking him. Probably Siobhan Revelle out of East Carolina. I think he's very talented. I think they'll probably take him. They need help at the DBs because like everybody was torching them. Everybody.
AJ Terrell gets a little help.
I mean, I can't say much about Tampa's DBs. They got torched a lot, also. But we won the division. That's what matters.
That's true. I like the pick. I think Revel adds some young talent to that secondary that is much needed. Arizona Cardinals. I think this is where T-Mac goes. You pair him up with Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyler Murray, gets some explosive playmaking from the young, talented receiver from Arizona. I like it. I think he falls to pick 16, and they can't pass up on him.
I like that pickup. I want him. If he falls to Tampa, I think they may take him.
Oh yeah.
But no, yeah, they definitely need the help, and him and Marvin Harrison would be nasty. And I'll be real. Don't forget Terry McBride. Your tight end,
yeah.
McBride. He was amazing last year. He was a top 3 tight end last year. He was incredible. Every time I watched the Cardinals play, he was balling. He didn't score a lot of tutties. I'm not gonna lie to you, but homie was getting the ball like crazy.
He was absolutely.
All right, we got the Bengals. Can you guess which side of the ball I think the Bengals need to go?
Probably defense, if I'd imagine front seven needs some work here.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm going defense. I'm going with the defense side of
yeah.
the ball. Probably take. I'll be real. I think they probably take Benjamin Morris. I think they do need deep.
Mm,
See, I think that's probably the best option for him. It's
mm.
not too big of a reach, and I think he may be the best corner in the draft. I'll be real.
He's very talented. Injury concerns, but
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great man-to-man cover corner, and if the Bengals could get him, that would help out their secondary tremendously. A lot of people may say pass rusher, D-line, but I love the pick here. Benjamin Morrison to the Bengals. We got the Seattle Seahawks on the clock. Tyler Warren falls here. I think they need another playmaker with rumors of DK Metcalf might be traded this offseason. We'll have to wait and see if that's true or not. However, I think Tyler Warren to the Seattle Seahawks makes a lot of sense here.
I like that pickup. He kind of fell a little bit, but it's it's a tight end. I'm not super surprised unless you're like, I don't know, unless you're Brock Bowers. I'll be real. Brock Bowers, and I will say this: Brock Bowers also performed at that level this season. Was he also
Exactly.
mostly just the only guy there? Kind of, because after Devontae left, but that's besides the point.
You get your Tampa Bay Bucks.
Hey, I don't even know how that worked out. I didn't even try for that. So, I've been saying this. I'm really worried about Levante. I think Levante is probably going to be, if he plays, I think this year is his last and he's gone. I think most of the best edges have already been taken, which is the other concern I have. I would go corner probably, but I think Jalen Walker out of Georgia is the best fit for the team. I think he can learn under Levante and hopefully get some of that wisdom and lead the defense later. So I'm hoping for that at least. So I think Jalen Walker is a great fit for our defense, and especially with KJ Britt, who can't do coverage, really hurt us.
Absolutely. I like the pick there. Like you mentioned, I mean, you need some defensive presence for that ferocious defense. I mean, y'all had some secondary concerns, but all the big names are pretty much off the board. So going Jalen Walker here, BPA, either him or Mike Green. I love the pick. Denver Broncos on the clock here. Pick 20. There's a variety of options that could go here. If they don't get T. Higgins, if they don't get one of these top name free agent wide receivers, they could go receiver in the draft here at pick 20. They could go defense, although their defense is pretty strong. I don't think they need any sort of secondary help whatsoever. So I'm actually going to go receiver here. I think they take Luther Burden from Missouri at pick 20.
I think also there's one more thing which I like. I like this pick even more. So there's talk of Cortland Sutton also departing from Denver this offseason with the contract that he's expected to receive. I don't know if Denver's willing to pay that. So taking Luther Burden the third here is an excellent pickup in my opinion. I think they're going to have Mims still, who played very well last season with Bo Nix. I like this pick a lot actually because I think that's where they're going to really need to address. They do need a running back, but I think the running back class is stacked, and you can get a running back later in this draft.
Absolutely. I agree with that. This running back class is phenomenal, guys. There'll be tons of round 3, round 4 guys that could eventually be starters in the league.
100%. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback.
You never know. Fields, Russ, they both might be out the building. We'll have to wait and see.
I'll be real. I think they go offensive tackle here. They're probably going to take Armand Mimbu out of Missouri. If I probably butchered that, but I think that's one of the places they struggled the most was the O-line. I think the defense was fine for a majority of the season. So in my opinion, yeah, I think they need to address the O-line, fix it, and then depending on who you have a quarterback, but it doesn't matter. You're going to have a quarterback back there. You need to have a good O-line.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I mean, definitely bolstering up that offensive line for whoever quarterback is under center this upcoming season is very vital for the team's success, and they've got some other holes that they've got to address this offseason with Najee Harris possibly departing, but yeah, I like the pick. We got the LA Chargers here at pick 22. I think the Houston Texans are making a trade here. I think the Chargers are going up and trading with the Houston Texans.
Chargers are trading back with the Houston Texans.
Yes, I think they have seen this guy fall for a little bit. Injury concerns. They don't care. He's phenomenal. I mean, he's a great talent. Top two, top three offensive lineman, talent-wise in the draft. Injury concerns may have prohibited teams from drafting him. That's why he's fallen so far. But Josh Simmons from Ohio State, I like him going to the Houston Texans to protect C.J. Stroud.
I like that. That's a really good pickup. Definitely need that O-line help. I think injuries were another thing that was a big concern for Houston, but I think taking an O-lineman any time in the draft is a great option. If you've got let's take an O-lineman. It's depth, star, or just solid player. Either way, you're gonna have something there.
Absolutely.
We got the Green Bay Packers. So Alexander's probably gone. Might actually look at wide receiver. How about Green Bay take Matthew Golden out of Texas?
Okay, I like it. Isaiah Bond, Matthew Golden, they're both phenomenal players from Texas. Even Emeka Ibuka from Ohio State. Any one of those three guys I'd be fine with taking here. But Matthew Golden would be a great pickup for Green Bay here.
You don't want to see him in the green, do you?
No, I don't. I do not want Jordan Love to get any more weapons for that team. But I like the pickup here. They finally draft a wide receiver round 1, Matthew Golden. Makes a lot of sense. My Minnesota Vikings are on the clock. I like how this kind of shaped up. You picked your Bucks, I picked my Vikings, and the D-line has been extremely solid. The interior D-line really needs to be improved a little bit more. The secondary help, especially, I'm looking at Jahdae Brown from Texas at the corner. If we traded back, I feel like we could probably get him. But I'm really surprised Mike Green has not been taken yet. So I'm taking BPA, the edge from Marshall, Mike Green. I think he is a phenomenal player and can only add to the success of the Brian Flores-led defense.
No, I think an edge is definitely a good pickup.
And honestly, you could go running back too. But like we alluded to, this running back class is extremely deep, so you could get a starter round 3, round 4.
Oh, definitely. The running backs are kind of crazy how many good ones there are. We got the Chargers at 25. I think it's so difficult for me because I would look at the Chargers to want to get a wide receiver to go with Ladd McConkey, but I also there's a chance of them getting Higgins there because Ladd's on a rookie deal, and you getting T. Higgins and Ladd, I think would be a great pickup. But I'm not sure. Chris Godwin as potentially being a free agent, and I know he's probably going to be the second best wide receiver that's available behind T. So it's definitely hard for me to try and figure out where I would want to take with the Chargers because it's such a weird position. Because I may. They may probably take Derek Harmon out of Oregon. Probably take him to help the defense because their offense is pretty solid, but their defense is getting torched a little bit.
Yeah, I like that. It definitely makes sense here. Like you mentioned, they have to plug some holes on that defense. So getting a guy that can do that, big body from Oregon, makes a lot of sense. Switching LA teams.
I just noticed that. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. We got the LA Rams on the clock here. So with the possible, not even possible, it's going to happen, guys. Cooper Kupp's going to be on a different team come 2025. So draft his replacement. Why not? Your defense doesn't have a whole lot of holes. Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State, I think, goes here. You could go secondary. You can get a guy in free agency that can really help that team out. But why not draft the extremely talented receiver from Ohio State here to replace Cooper Kupp? I like it.
Ibuka with Pakua?
Yeah.
Wow, that's gonna be interesting.
Oh yeah.
I like that. I agree. Cooper Kupp is gonna be gone. Which, depending on how much you're willing to pay him, it's a great pickup in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple places I really don't want him to go. So that's in my opinion. So I think that's actually a really good pickup. Depending on who their QB is, will determine a lot. Also,
Very true.
I heard rumors Stafford to the Vikings was one thing that I heard.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Stafford with Jetta. He knows what he played with Megatron. I mean, just saying.
True.
We got the Baltimore Ravens coming in. They're probably taking Cameron Williams out of Texas. They need to get the O-line a little bit of help. I think their DBs were fine. Nate Wiggins was actually really good this past season as a rookie. And Humphreys, their safety's good. So I don't think the DBs were that big of an issue. Their linebacker, actually, I kind of almost see him taking Jahad Campbell out of Bama instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I think that's the better option.
I was about to say, I like that pick. Jahad Campbell, I think he would be a great addition.
I was just thinking back. I was like, man, their linebackers kind of had a hard time this season. I was like...
The Detroit Lions now are on the clock. Ooh, all right. So they don't have many weaknesses on the offensive side of the ball whatsoever. Wide receiver, tight end, O-line, running back, quarterback, they're all set. So I'm going to the defensive side of the ball, and I am looking at, let's see, D-line possibly to plug some holes, even corner. I think it makes a lot of sense to draft corner here. Jahdae Barron from Texas. I think they take another corner this year. At pick 29, you got the Commanders.
I think this is a scary thing. I think that the Commanders have draft picks is scary to me because of how well they played last year. Very young squad too, and they're about to add more to it. Definitely worried me a little bit, being in the NFC. I think their offense was excellent all season. I think their defense did need help more so. But I want to kind of say after what you saw in Jaden Daniels, Rookie of the Year, NFC Championship game, I wouldn't be surprised if you've been scouting O-lineman since you drafted him and seen how he could play. I kind of want to say they take Cameron Williams, the offensive tackle, out of Texas because you're going to protect this guy. And you pair them up, both young, both under rookie deals. I think that's probably the best option.
Absolutely, I agree. Makes a lot of sense to me. And the Commanders guys' NFC Championship appearance are only going to continue to get better by the progression of the years go. I think Jaden Daniels, phenomenal talent, and honestly, if you surround him with some more weapons this offseason, that can only, further help his development as a quarterback.
T. Higgins to the Commanders?
That would be pretty wild, wouldn't it?
Scary Terry, T. Higgins with Jaden Daniels, Brian Robinson Jr. as your running back with Austin Eckler as your split carry guy.
Okay, guys. There's been rumors that, Myles Garrett to the Bills possibly this offseason in a trade. We'll have to wait and see. However, in the meantime, I think they want to draft a game changer, somebody that shows up in big moments. And this guy from Ohio State showed up in the biggest moment on national television, the Natty, College Football National Championship, Jack Sawyer. I think they draft him here, and I think he would only help that defense continue to become more phenomenal with the young talent they surround themselves with. I like the pick here. A little bit of a reach at the end of the first round, but I would like to think they want to get their guy before anyone else does.
I'm surprised they're not making a trade with the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's funny how it ends up again.
I'm calling it now. Jack Sawyer to the Chiefs. I'm calling it now.
Whew, I hope not.
Trade through the Bills. The Chiefs move up one spot and take Jack Sawyer. We got the Chiefs. We got the Chiefs. So, I think their defense actually wasn't terrible. I think their offense struggled more than their defense for the majority of the season. So I kind of want to look at that. I mean, and if you look at wide receivers, I mean, you got time. You can get other good wide receivers.
Oh yeah.
I just maybe they take Talik Williams, defensive tackle out of Ohio State, right after. So him and Jack Sawyer going back to back. teammates.
I like that.
Probably that. Fix it. Get your D line a little beefed up. I think that's probably the best option. Now you got the Super Bowl champs though. What did the Super Bowl champs need to improve on?
Exactly. Tyleik Williams, great pick to help that defensive line. Spags will love that addition to the D line. Kind of surprised he fell to pick 31 to the Chiefs, naturally so. But, I mean, a great pickup for them. And with the last pick of the first round, guys, we got the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champs. And with that being said, I think they get one of the best steals of the draft. They get Kenneth Grant, D lineman from Michigan. He's been performing exceptionally well in the Senior Bowl. He's going to do well. He's going to perform well at the Combine. So what do y'all think about it? Round 1, our first mock draft, TSP, Thunder Sports Pod. First mock draft. Let us know down below. What do you think about it?
I think this is a pretty good draft, especially for our first one. We're about to get the Combine. Once we get the Combine, I mean, then we're going to have a whole different, it's going to change a lot. But as our first mock, I think this went really solid. I think we addressed a lot of the issues the teams needed. Of course, I mean, more so than my Bucks and your Vikes. Besides that, I mean, I think a lot of them. T-Mac to the Cardinals, I love that pick. I think that would be a nasty duo. I think I got to see more out of Kyler this season, though, because, Kyler has been just drop-off every season, it seems like.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's some solid picks. There's a couple of hot takes for sure, like the Jets trading up to number 2 to draft their quarterback. My favorite pick of this draft, honestly, the Eagles. Kenneth Grant falling to pick 32. I think that's going to help their D-line out even more. And honestly, Will Johnson to the Bears makes a lot of sense. I like your pick of the Falcons with Revel. I thought the corner there, I think, makes phenomenal sense. But great young talent to pair alongside A.J. Terrell. So we'll have to wait and see. Let us know down below, guys. What's your favorite pick of the first round? And which one did you disagree with the most?
All right, we out. Woo!